this shit is like. So don't let these motherfuckers hype you up into just saying some shit.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So, and we actually got into it a little bit of back and forth because I said it on Twitter. He hit me back on this shit, and I knew everyone wanted us to argue, so I DM'd him. Like, Brian got your number, but let's talk about this. You know what I mean? So, but what I was saying was, it's just like, you can give Russ all the props you want, but you ain't got to shit on him in the process. Like, I think today, like, to show love to one, you have to shit on somebody else.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? To me, that's what fucks me up.
Russell going back to Oklahoma City was a great thing, but you knew that you saying, like, I'm going to announce why Russell is the greatest Thunder player ever. You knew that was a divisive statement. You knew that people would, you knew people would kind of like, oh, that's a shot at KD. Like, you know that. So my whole thing is like, you don't, like you said, you don't have to do that. You don't have to in order for you to praise Russell, got to shit on me.
Right.
Because that's what the fans and that's what
they want.
The media in Oklahoma City, that's what they kind of like made their money off of the last 4 years, is shitting on me. So like, Perk, you just playing into that because you want a job and you want some notoriety in your profession, but we were friends before this. We actually played basketball games before this. Like, I know your family, so why are you trying to use that tactic against one of your so-called brothers? So that was my whole thing. And then he called me out on Twitter to another fan about us losing in the second round. I'm just like, Perk, you were on the same team with me. And like, you started and you didn't play well. So like, I wouldn't say, well, Perk lost in the second round in Memphis. No, we all did, but don't call out a teammate. Like, we once a teammate, you always a teammate. So like, don't
Have
let
y'all
these
talked
people,
since?
Nah, ain't no need, nah. Cause I know what his whole thing is. I know what it's wrapped around. I know it's bigger and deeper than just what he's saying on Twitter or him, you know, trying to prove a point. He got, you know, he want to do something in his life, and I get that, but I'm just trying to let people know that I don't really deal with Perk like that.
And like, when I get asked about it, my stance is like, that's how I kind of met you, through Perk. And I'm like, that should have been handled a different way. Like, even if he disagreed with how he felt, he could have called you, and y'all could have handled it a different kind of way. That's when people ask about it, I say both my little brothers, I really don't want to get involved, because they was brothers at one point, they was partners at one point.
Like you said, it's deeper. It's deeper than rap.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So, like, he and I had a chance to talk, and we talked eye to eye and gave them mutual respect. But, like, to me, as players that are able to cross over and they're letting us in this space right now, like, I think what makes us amazing is our authenticity, and none of these other motherfuckers have ever been in the locker room and know what it's like to even lace these motherfuckers up. I mean, so we have a certain responsibility to always G-code it. Behind the scenes is different, you know what I mean? I've heard bad experience, I've seen some experiences, I know what my experience is, and it just kind of is what it is. And the way I look at these is just like, if they want to use me up for my game, I'm going to use that platform like a motherfucker and capitalize.
But at the end of the day, they always got, they are in the control. That's why it's good to have your own media outlet where you control your own narrative.
That's why you got to, because you want to tell your motherfucking story, come to all the smoke.
Yeah, come here.
Death row.
Yeah,
say what you need to say.
Here. Bam, look at the jacket on your ass. What other podcast got jackets like this? No one.
Damn it.
Yeah.
We out here.
All right, man, let's get back on track, man. Let's talk about where you are right now in your recovery process.
Yeah, man, I'm getting there, man. It's been, I don't even know how many months it's been, but I'm progressing. I'm getting on the court. I'm starting some basketball stuff
I'm tired of watching you hooping with nuts on, doing the games on the court, doing your moves with your suit on.
You said it's nuts on?
Yeah, I'm shadow. Yeah, I'm
out there killing us.
One on none.
But I'm working, man. Every single day I'm working, and you know, I'm getting closer and closer to being, you know, back to myself as much as I can. You know, it's a tough ass injury, man. It's frustrating. Every day, just doing the small shit. You know, I just like to, you know, no holds barred, just go hoop. But you got to prepare and warm up to get ready for the next thing. It's just like, for me, somebody who doesn't understand.
Gotta get rid of the bums.
How's it like? I know you, and I know how much you love the game. Just, you know, sitting there and being away from the game, dog. I know that's driving you crazy more than anything.
Yeah, it's stressful, man. It is. You know, because I was on a good pace. You know what I'm saying? I was playing well. I mean, 12 straight years of doing what I was doing. It was like, you know, I feel like I hit Hall of Fame status early in my career, and I was like, I just want to keep adding on to it, and then just get a clean break like that. It's definitely stopped momentum, but you know, as always,
marathon continues.
Yeah, you just you know, switch your focus a little bit and redirect yourself and see where it goes from there. But I learned so much in that time that I can kind of apply it to this new phase. So I'm looking forward to it.
That's what I want to ask you. What have you learned, like sitting there and watching your team, and where you can plug in and be your best?
I just playing in so many different positions with the
Showing
Warriors.
up, nigga. Just showing up.
Plain and simple.
Yeah, nigga.
Yeah, I feel
I'm
like
back.
I feel like
shit, 7 on the court.
I play so many different roles with the Warriors. You know, I feel like with the Thunder, I was just learning who I was as a player, learning how to learn how to score in the NBA, learning how to just make basic reads in the NBA. And then when I got to the Warriors, just like being innovative at real fast. You know how we play. You know, backdoor cut gonna present itself fast. You got to make sure it's there, or like we never planned some of that shit. So just learn on the fly like that and just mixing those two, combining those two experiences together and bringing them to the Nets. You know, I'm just looking forward to just stepping, like you said, just stepping out on the court and seeing how my presence affects my teammates, you know what I mean? And then seeing how they can put me in positions to be successful moving forward now that I had a tough injury.
Your presence is a presence.
Yeah, I'm anxious to see that dynamic. You, DJ, and Kyrie.
We gonna get there. We gonna get there.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm getting anxious.
get
My
there.
bad.
Take me back to the finals
Yeah.
last year. And I say sometimes as athletes, we need to be protected from ourselves because at the end of the day, we got that say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you're on the brink of your third straight title, finals MVP the prior 2 years. Tell me where your mindset was to come back and try to help your team get over that hump.
I mean, as I started getting healthy, I started, having these pictures in my mind about what it'd be like to come back from down 3-1. I know for a fact I wasn't gonna get finals MVP, but seeing, Steph get that moment, I was looking forward to that. Or Clay, whoever it was at that time that was playing well. I was just picturing so much in my mind at that point of just great things happening if I step back on the court. And, it started to turn that way. First,
It started off
first quarter.
Was cooked.
You know what I'm saying? I was just like, I can tell, when I went back to the bench, the confidence my teammates had, the whole organization. Like, I could look down and see, our fans and E40, everybody just had a sense of like, man, we here now.
Back.
We
It's
back.
over. It's
and
over.
I knew the fans back in the Bay was just so excited that I was playing again. And, it's just life is crazy. You can be on that high so fast and in a matter of seconds, you go back down. I'm grateful for it. It's fucked up that I had to go through it, but I'm also grateful that I can experience it because down the line I can be able to speak on how much it helped me as a player and a person.
What was it like once you went down, knowing you're down, and then seeing Clay go down, and then the Raptors winning a championship, knowing that should have been your guys' third in a row?
Yeah, it was rough. It was rough because I feel like throughout the season we could have locked in a little bit earlier for the playoffs, and I feel like when we getting down to that moment, it was just like, damn it, having me and Clay out and not winning the championship after planning for it so long, it's just like that's just how the gods work. That's just how the games work sometimes. And it was just like throughout the regular season, I really wish that we'd have locked in a little bit more. You know what I mean? It had a little bit more game plan, a little bit more focus going into the season, so that like it didn't have to end that way. You know what I'm saying? It's like we waited so long just for that moment instead of like each game was important.
Right.
Even in the regular season, even in the first round, it was like we waited for so long just for the finals, and it happened that way. It was like it made me think about the whole season as a whole.
That's a gift and a curse, you know what I mean? Because for them, it was a 5-year run to know that, bro, we're going to be playing till June every year.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, you know what I mean? That's a lot of basketball.
There's a lot.
You know what I mean?
And I didn't realize that until we started getting into the playoffs and we played Houston, and it was just like, shit, this is the third year of us making this run. It's tough. And so 2 more years before that, I know mentally,
Draining.
It's draining. It's draining, and I got it. But it was like, shit, it's right in our hands. It's right there for us to get a three-peat. It hasn't happened in a while. So, it's that point where I was like, let's just fucking lock in and do it.
Take me back to Oklahoma City, up 3-1, losing the series. Warriors coming back and beating you guys, and then is where all the brunt of this, I feel like, happened. People were mad that you were up 3-1, bounced, took your career in your own and your happiness in your own hands.
Only losers didn't understand that.
Yeah,
which you're fucking supposed to, because it's a business. When they cut, trade, wave, whatever, it's a business. But when we do it, it's a problem.
Yeah.
You take that to the West Coast. Tell me what that transition period was like, where you were the motherfucking beloved. You were the next coming of, like you said, you reached Hall of Fame status early. You were on the way. So tell
and
me
people
what it's
like me. Like people
They
genuinely
really fuck with you, love with you.
And then in a matter of
And overnight
moments,
changing.
They did. It was, the Warriors were so intriguing because I always and with OKC, I played with a lot of athletes. I didn't play with a lot of skill guys, not like shooters, ball handlers. So after a while, my game started to grow. I was like, I need a change. This is before the season even started. You know what I mean? And it was like, I'm gonna play out my last season as hard as I can. And I'm not telling anybody I want to leave. I'm not packing in. I'm trying to win as much as we can and trying to end this out right. That was my thinking going in before the year. And obviously I had a few teams, but the Warriors is a team I wanted to play for because, you know, the movement they had, the passing, they led the league in assists. When Scott Brooks is my coach, that's all we talked about is wanting to lead the league in assists. And so playing with, you know, that team, that's what I was thinking about. So when we got to the playoffs, it was just like, you know, let's see what happens. We got a young team. We beat San Antonio in 6. Like, that's a great win. That's a great win against a team that's been running through people all season. And, you know, Russell had to make big shots. I had to make big shots. Andre Roberson came alive. Deion Waiters started to play well. So I'm like, all right, we get some momentum. And this Cantor was coming on. Then we get to the Warriors. It's just a whole different series. You know they're going to sell out to stop me. Meaning they're going to leave Andre Roberson.
Anybody but you.
I would
Anybody
too.
but me.
I would leave Andre Roberson too.
And I'm just like...
He couldn't hit a house if he was in the kitchen. What you mean? I'll leave his ass
He was
alone, too.
he was great for our team in that series because he can guard. But he knew that he wasn't going to help us shoot threes. And everybody in the world knew that. So, and it's easy for a team to guard us when we got guys that not respected from the three. You know what I'm saying? So I was tired of playing in that system. I was tired of like having to be the only guy that can make threes, make jump shots, and consistently make them. So my mind was already thinking about how can I develop my game more so than like the Warriors versus Thunder, that rivalry. Like even if that was a rivalry, I didn't give a fuck. I just wanted to keep developing my game. And on top of that, we only played them one time in the playoffs. So I didn't really feel like a genuine deep hate for the Warriors. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, they're a new fresh team, they on the rise, I fuck with them. And I'm gonna play hard against them. I know some of their players, it is what it is. It's like San Antonio those years when you was on the team, I didn't like y'all.
Yeah, that was a rivalry.
Yeah, Memphis, when we played them, I didn't like Memphis at all. Like, those are the teams we've seen every year in the playoffs. The Warriors, they were just like another team to me. So me going there and playing for them, it didn't matter if we'd have won or lost the series, I wanted to play there and live in the Bay.
Yes, sir.
The Bay it's like nothing else. I mean, the fans, the opportunity, the love they show. I mean, they still love you to death.
Man, it's like a different culture. It's not like, it don't even feel like you, like, in California, the Bay is just like its own thing.
place.
Like, I can't even explain it. And it's just like being there, I really felt like I stamped myself as a legend in the Bay. I mean, like you look at, I'm not comparing myself to these guys, but guys that won in the Bay, like Jerry Rice and Joe Montana. Now you got us
historical.
That won back-to-back in the Bay. Is like shit.
Come on, man, forever.
Yeah, that's forever. So I'm really proud of that.
But tell me what it's like when you go there, because we were there with one culture, and I got a chance to go back and see that culture, and it was insane. Just the wanting to be there, the energy starting at the top with new ownership. You didn't see the old ownership, but the new ownership and just the energy and how those guys all fucked with each other, and then the chemistry carried on and off the court. Tell me what it's like being involved in that.
When I first came into the league, the Warriors were like a laughingstock almost. You know what I'm saying? Until y'all came around and beat the Mavs. You know what I'm saying? It was just like that team was like, all right, that's what Oakland is about. You know what I'm saying?
Grit.
Yeah, that grit and that grind with guys that on the basketball court that can play any position, that played like us, before us, really. But, you know, 4 or 5 small players, you know, switching everything, shooting threes, just hooping. Like playing real backyard basketball, but like once that team was done, it was like in between, and it was just like, the Warriors.
What is it?
Yeah, what is it? What's the identity? You know what I'm saying? So that first year I got into the league, and then right after that, 4 or 5 years after that, then to have an identity, and then to see the new ownership, and then the build around Steph and Clay, just their personas and just their stories and how their dads played in the league, and it just changed from like, we got some inner city kids who tough as hell, who personify what Oakland is about, to like some guys that are just totally different, came up different. It's 2 totally different fields, but the game of basketball felt like it was the same. You know what I'm saying? It was just how we came up. You know, how you came up in the struggle and grinding to get to your position, not being drafted early. Like, people felt that. You know, it felt like it was every guy on the team, from Monte to Was Azubuike on that team?
Yep.
Azubuike. There was so many guys on that
Petrus,
team.
everybody,
Petrus, like
yeah.
everybody was just like some cast-offs. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like they just threw together, and then you come with a more structured environment with Steph and Clay and Draymond. They got drafted and groomed. It was just like night and day off the court, but and their stories. But once you looked at the game, just felt like shit. We played the same way y'all did, and we got it from y'all basically.
Y'all just had some
Motherfuckers
MVPs,
made more.
motherfuckers. Yeah, y'all had some.
They said, Jack
unicorns.
said, we played the same way, the motherfuckers just made more threes. Motherfuckers just made more threes. You know? So what, you guys are going, you win, and like I said, understanding and being around and knowing Draymond, when that shit happened in LA, I'm like, damn, like I understand him because he's wears his heart on the sleeve, always speaks from the cuff, and most of the time it's right. You know what I mean? But the shit he said was over the motherfucking line.
It was out of line.
So how did that happen? Run me through that?
I mean, it really came out of nowhere. The play happened. I was going to grab a rebound. He came and grabbed it. I'm thinking he's going to just toss it to me and we're going to run up court and I'm going to shoot the shot.
The whole world thinking that, not just you.
Everybody thinking
Draymond,
that.
come off the pill, my nigga. I fuck with you, but come off the rock right there. Everybody in the world knew you supposed to come off the rock.
Yeah, everybody knew that. And we all figured that would happen. And then when it didn't, I was kind of shocked. And then I was just like, oh, Dre, like, let me see that. You know what I'm saying?
What are you doing?
Like, what you doing? Then he turned it over. I'm like, I'm just so confused at that point because he never, ever did nothing like that before. And everybody on the bench was confused, too. And then we came back. Then I just heard him screaming, and I was like, hold up. He usually screaming when he come back to the bench, but what is he saying? Then he started going off, and I'm just like, maybe it's because I was like fucking pissed that he didn't give me the rock. Because I didn't say nothing, it was just in my body language. I was just clapping and just like,
For your defense, Clay was pissed too.
Clay
If you
was
look at the
pissed
video,
too.
Clay pissed too. Like, throw one of us the rock.
Yeah.
You know you can't hit a house in the kitchen either.
Yeah,
You want
exactly.
us to rock and let us shoot the bitch.
So, man, then he started coming off the top with all of that stuff, and I'm just thinking, I'm like, Draymond is actually my friend. Like, he's somebody I can call when I'm going through anything. Like, yo, bro,
Great dude.
Come through. Like,
Great
damn,
dude.
bro, let's hang out tonight. Like, and for him to say that type of shit to me, it just threw me for a loop, and it just really, I just started isolating myself after that, because I didn't feel like, you know, they suspended Draymond, but it was just like, they had to so it won't look bad to everybody else. And then nobody talked to me about it or really like, we never really came to an agreement that we didn't even voice our, nobody as a whole, because it happened in front of the whole team and nobody really talked about it. It was just swept under the rug. And to me, it's just like, we a family. You're supposed to like, even if he said that, we can move past it, but let's all talk about it. Let's just say how we all felt about that moment, because that's a huge moment in this whole dynasty. Like, you know what I mean? Don't just sweep it under the rug because we want to win. That's the reason why we're not going to win. You know what I mean? So I was like, let's just all talk about this. It's not that big of a deal. Like, just put it out on the table, we can move past it. And when that didn't happen, I was just like, fuck it. Let me just hoop and worry about myself. And we went on.
Well, see, I think that probably hurt y'all, because if y'all would have came out and he would have heard more people saying, bro, you should have passed the ball. Bro, you should have passed the ball. I think he would have came outside himself and realized, like, you know what, maybe I overreacted.
Yeah, it was.
He never got a chance to say that.
Yeah, I mean, Draymond, we all know what Draymond is, and it's like, it's fine that you want to do that you want to show your emotions and wear them on your sleeve. That's fine, but when it's over the line, sometimes let's just talk about it. So next time you can tone it down just a bit, and I feel like we didn't have the opportunity to do so, because we were so focused on trying to just move forward and win. And I get that too, but it's like, if we're a family and
we gonna hash it out and then we gonna move forward.
Yeah, we didn't won 2 chips together.
Right.
Bigger than like, this is some shit we can sit down and talk about.
Well,
But certain words gonna come out too. Like, we brothers, and I got in fist fights with my brothers, but certain words you don't say.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Certain words you don't say, you know when that line is crossed.
Yeah. Well, I think he
Certain
realized
words
that
can't come
too.
back
You
from
mean,
him.
like I said, I think us knowing, we all know him, I think he realized he fucked up, he had crossed the line, but that's what kind of duty is. But that even makes the point more like, let's motherfucking sit down, have a drink, and really talk about this, all of us.
Me and him sat down and talked about it, and we kind of, you know, I gave him my piece on it, and he told me how he felt on it, but I'm like, it happened in front of the whole team.
That's everybody.
So everybody got to talk about it.
Because everybody fucked with each other. It wasn't like he was forcing it. Everybody really fucked with each other. You know what I mean? So let's sit down and hash that out.
And then again, everybody was thinking you was passing the rock, bro. It ain't just Katie, it ain't just Clay. Everybody in the world thought you was coming off the rock.
Yeah.
And you was wrong. Just admit you was wrong. That's the whole thing. I think he had too much pride in the fact that he turned it over, and that made him react that way.
Yeah, but we know shit. Turnovers happen.
Exactly.
And
Shit
98% of the
happens.
time, you're going to
He
make the
one
right
of the best
play.
playmakers on the team.
Nobody
Right.
really cared if we won or lost that game in the first place. It was just like we in that situation. Let's just go ahead, try to finish it the right way. You know. But at the end of the day, nobody really cared about that win or loss. You know what I'm saying?
But this too, great coaches, when you don't get a shot at the end of the game like that, they be pissed. Greg Popovich, he'll sit your ass down the whole game if you fuck up a play coming out of timeout and don't get a shot up at the end.
Oh yeah, I mean shit, that'll make anybody pissed.
Yeah,
if you just turn it over at the end of a game.
I think the media kind of saw that as an entryway to kind of start
Definitely.
dividing. These motherfuckers are so good. What can we start doing? What can we start developing to chink this armor?
Most definitely.
And I was only there with y'all for 3 months, but I always saw, to me, when I looked like, I was like, this is some cold shit, man. The media is cold, man. If you pay attention, these motherfuckers
They
is really
cold.
telling you what they're doing right in front of your face, but you can't do nothing because they glamour that shit up and put a bow on it.
Yep.
It was always, to me, KD and the Warriors. It was never the Warriors. Kevin Durant's a part of that team.
And I was looking at it, I was like, hold up. So D West came the same time I came, but he's a Warrior and I'm not. Makes no sense. JaVale McGee, same way. Like he's a Warrior. Like Ian Clark, he was there before me, but he left. He didn't win the second championship with us, but he's it didn't make no sense to me. And I'm like, the media is just trying so hard to separate this thing, and I was just like, for what? Like, you didn't do that with LeBron and D-Wade and Bob. Like, you didn't do that with those guys. You didn't do that with KG and Paul Pierce. And you didn't try to separate them. It's like, oh, why are you trying to separate me from the rest of the team? And you actually are making this your job. Your duty to do so is to push this narrative every day. People call me wild for calling it out, but I'm just like, no, I think it's corny. It is what it is.
The fact you speak on it makes you, like you said, the fact you speak on the bullshit and you see it, you're bad.
Yeah, exactly. It was just like,
The fact that you're this person, I'm just supposed to, y'all one of the greatest players ever to play, I'm just supposed to let it go. That's what you want me to do?
Because y'all supposed to be messengers to the fans, and they looking at y'all, and y'all can easily, like, brainwash people with y'all bullshit. And it's not about you. If you're a media guy, nobody cares about you.
Real talk.
It's not about you. It's about what you see on the court.
Take the ego out of it.
Yeah,
Take
so
the ego
like,
out of
you're
it.
trying to put your whole style and flair on something that got nothing to do with you. This game gonna be here. This game was here before you. It's gonna be here way after you. So nobody cares about you. They don't care about me that much in 40 years, 50 years. They're gonna look for the next thing. You know what I'm saying? So like, get out the way.
That's why it's so important now, because you think back in the day, pre-social media, whatever they put out is the truth. And we never had a platform. You know what I mean? So that's why I love it when you're out here. I didn't like to use a burner phone. I would have said, fuck it, I'm Kevin Durant, motherfucker. I'm gonna cuss you out. You talk some shit, I'm gonna talk some shit. I'm gonna speak my mind.
I'm still gonna do the burner thing. I'm still gonna do that.
You still on it?
Yeah. There's some shit that you just gotta be
But
like,
I'm saying,
these folks don't always
but
figure
I'm
out a
saying,
way.
fuck it, bro. I'm saying if I'm you, like, you know, if you come for me, I'm coming back with you.
For sure. Certain people, I'm gonna come back on my regular account, but if I'm gonna try and do my thing, I want to dip
look
in
out.
and- you know what I mean?
Look out. Hey,
I got the burner.
it's still out there. It's lurking.
I just slipped up that one time. And you know why I slipped up? What's
On the
You know what I mean?
So talk to me about when did you know that your time in Golden State was up?
I mean, I knew just about halfway pointed through the year. I mean, I could feel like, you know, it was a separation between the two. It just feel like everybody was just waiting on me to make a decision on free agency, even, you know, from the coaches to my teammates to the media. It's like
There was a
everybody
narrative
just like,
throughout the season.
KD, like, what you gonna do? It's like January, and I'm like, yo, I'm just trying to hoop. That's all I want to do is play basketball every day. I came in every single day and kept my head down. I ain't say much. I wasn't too excited about much, so my coaches and my teammates thought something was wrong with me, but I was just like, I'm really focused on the end goal, which is to win the third championship in a row. And my methods may not, like, be welcoming to other people, but it's just how I do things, you know what I'm saying, how I approach the game. But for the most part, I really enjoyed my time there. I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about the game of basketball, a lot about teamwork and camaraderie that I didn't know. I learned about coaching. I learned about, we were building a new arena. I learned about the business side of the game. Like, having dinners with Rick Welch was, like, fucking phenomenal to me. Like, me and Bob were like this. We still like this to this day. The respect that I got for Steph and Clay, like, one day I'm gonna be fucking playing golf with Steph at some point in my life, talking about these 3 years and like that run that we had in the Bay. Like, and I'm not the one to like hold a grudge or be mad or not even talk about what we did. It's gonna always be on the topic of conversation. Everything I learned in Golden State is always gonna be at the top of my mind when I'm talking basketball. No matter if I play there or not. I just happen to want to play for another team. It just is what it is.
Did you ever consider anywhere else?
Not really. I looked at other places
Like who?
the Clippers. And I mean, I took a peek at the Knicks, like just because, just to do my due diligence. But like, I really wanted to play for the black and white. I like the brand. I like Brooklyn was a new up and coming city that needed some new flair, new basketball injection. Because being in Oklahoma City, I know that was like having a new franchise around. So I was excited about hopefully doing something like that again in Brooklyn, with the new team, playing with Kyrie Irving, who's from Jersey and got that tie with the Jersey side of things. So I'm like, we could bring in so many fans. It's like we had a solid thing going, you know what I'm saying? And, Sean Marks, who was a young GM, up and coming, young team that has some experience a little bit in the playoffs. It just kind of all worked out. And then having a couple trainers and you know how that goes, coaches that I work with in OKC, work with, throughout my time in the league, they just all, felt like they migrated to the Nets and, it just felt like it was perfect.
Talk about how it came about to become with Kyrie and then to have DJ join you. How was that orchestrated?
Having conversations with Kyrie for the last 2 years, not even about playing together, but just
brothers.
Yeah, just brothers. And, we didn't plan on playing together. We played each other in my second year with the Warriors, and we had a mutual friend, and we had some wine together, and we just bonded on just life in general and basketball in general, and that's just formed. And over time, his situation, he didn't like where his situation was at, and me either in Golden State, and it was just like, hey, man, let's just see how this would work. Let's try it out. And DJ wanted to play with us to be, he wanted to, I just be that center forward that can kind of hold it down and, play for something, really. Play for a team that's going somewhere, not just keep moving around and bouncing around the league. So we knew he'd be a vital piece for us going forward, not even just as a star, but, a good
being
team.
A part of the team.
Yeah, just being a part of the team. So it just worked out.
Talk about your relationship with Kyrie, like as far as what you think you guys will be on the court. I mean, you have people don't understand how important chemistry is. So like you said, you're developing that real friendship already. So then when you go, like Jack was my brother, so on the court, I'm gonna run through a motherfucking wall for him.
Yeah.
So to know what you have off the court, imagine what it's gonna be like on the court.
Yeah, man, that's the thing. I mean, we both want to challenge each other. We don't agree on everything.
You're not supposed to.
Yeah, exactly. You know how brothers are. It's like, when I see him out there, I feel like he could be doing more. I'm gonna let him know. When he feel like, nah, kid, you don't know what I see and feel out there. I understand that too. But my thing with Kyrie is I'm just gonna let him be who he is. He's a pure artist of the game, and he's proven himself on the biggest stage. And in my opinion, made the biggest shot of all time. So for somebody like that, I can't tell him what to do. I'm just gonna kind of work with him and see how we can come together and make this thing work for the whole group. But he's somebody that can control and take over a game.
Incredible.
With the ease of just about anybody who's ever played. So a lot of people want to talk about who he is, his mentality, but if you just watch him on the basketball court, you can't deny it makes you feel while you watch him play.
Now, knowing that you're growing as a player, growing in your mentality, your approach, when you hear him say that off-the-wall shit, even though some of what he said is true, to me, I think you take that to management. But when you put it to the media and you let the media start cracking and doing what the media does, what were your thoughts on that, being an older player, seeing that now?
But you know him, though. Like, you know him, so you know exactly what he means.
Coming from a good place, you know what I mean?
You have to be in that type of shit to know exactly what he's saying.
It's not malicious.
Because I done been around a team where I done dealt with some bullshit-ass motherfuckers on my team. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes they don't understand what the coach's saying. So sometimes you gotta either belittle them in the media or just attack them personally. You know what I'm saying? If you want to win, or just be sorry to the motherfucker.
I just think Kyrie I didn't care. I don't think anybody on our team did. I mean,
that's what I want to know. Where people like, oh man, fuck it.
I don't think anybody cared. Like, man, like, cause everybody see who Kyrie is every day.
That's a challenge to me.
Yeah, like, yeah.
Challenge. Take that shit as a challenge.
Yeah, if anything, I'm sure they looked at it that way, but we know Kyrie, so every day when he comes in, like, he doesn't look to, he's not a dick in the locker room. Like, he's
Right.
just he a solid ass teammate. He not doing too much. He doing just enough as a teammate. So with him saying that, it's just like, he care about where this group is going. That's how I looked at it. And our teammates, you know, everybody on the team, we just kept it pushing because we know what the media is about. We know people just don't like Kyrie as a person.
Point blank.
So whatever he says is going to be blown up and it's going to look like he's being a bad teammate because that's his rap. We get it. We know. It's not like you saying something that's new, like, oh, Kyrie's a shitty teammate. Of course you're going to say that, but we don't see that. I don't see that. I don't see that.
Nobody's
before.
never heard one of his teammates say that publicly.
Never.
Not one.
Never. It's just his methods and how he talks to the media is different than the rest of the guys in the league. And you can't, I mean, like I said, the media got such a huge platform that they can pretty much brainwash people to thinking Kyrie is a horrible person because they don't like how he talks to them. But like I said, it ain't about y'all.
Right. What's the vibe in the relationship like with the young LeVert, Dinwiddie, Harris, all good, young, talented dudes? You guys got some talent, huh?
Yeah.
LeVert.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of the singing group.
LeVert, we call him LeVert. But, man, at this point, these guys understand what's coming. Right? What the expectations are for us as a group. We have a championship mentality. I'm not saying we guaranteeing no chip, but we're gonna get there easy. But we know when we step on that court, we got to come with that DNA. Every play has to be championship mentality. Every movement that we make, every scout report that we go over has to be looked at as if it's a championship mentality. It's a process, and we know how tough that is every single day. So I think everybody on our team is getting used to that. And at the same time, we're struggling sometimes, and we have our ups and downs. But I think all these young dudes getting some great experience. I don't want to call them all my teammates are getting a great experience and knowing what it's like to have two guys that are just waiting. You know, especially me. You know, coming not playing, like they know that once I get out on the court, things are going to start to.
It's going to be some shit.
People are going to be in their right positions. We're going to start to figure out what the team looks like. So I think everybody's just patient.
I'm getting out of patience, but I'm being patient too. I can't wait to see you, DJ, and Kyrie together, how that dynamic. I just think, I've always, anytime I see it, I think a certain play with a pick and roll with you and DJ, and he rolling, you coming out the corner. How can you guard that?
Unstoppable. That's how Brandon Knight.
How can you guard that?
That's how Brandon Knight died.
At the same time,
That's how Brandon Knight died. Hey, if you see that now that we're talking about this, so I was the dude in the corner. So just imagine this.
You was in the
corner,
game,
right?
man?
I was in the corner. So Brandon Knight came off me to try to stop it. And if you see me, I'm in the bottom left corner. I jump up and down, cover my face, and I take off running. Like, I'm not gonna be a witness to this murder, bro. These cops are not about to question me about what this motherfucker just did to that man. It was the sickest dunk I've ever seen.
Best dunk
ever.
Yeah, that has to be.
Ever. I mean, Braun got Jason Terry, and that was fucked up too.
That was bad,
His
too.
shoulder blades hit first. But he baptized.
Yeah, they both of their
Brandon
feet
Knight.
was in the, yeah, Brandon Knight, his legs was in the air after that. Was like, DJ came out of nowhere.
He's a freak fucking athlete, bro. So, super strong. He's a perfect, like you said, plug and play dude. He's gonna play his role. He talks on defense, the ultimate teammate, funny, good dude. Yeah. Thinks he's a black hippie.
Yep.
Like, he fits in perfect. So I'm excited to see, like you said, we gotta be patient. Coming next year, it's gonna be a blast.
Yeah, man.
Tell me what it's like. You're an East Coast dude. Tell me what it's like to be in a big city now in New York and living and business and just the energy that is around this city.
Man, it's
And
different.
these big ass rats. I see, man. I know you seen one of them.
Man, what?
Them motherfuckers
It's
huge.
definitely different. I like being here. I actually love it because it's so much going on and it's just so fast paced. Coming from California the last
chill.
few years and then Oklahoma for 8 years.
That's because everybody in California is high.
Yeah, exactly. I just feel like it's nonstop energy here. I like getting up and going outside and seeing so many people moving around and getting to somewhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So It's dope being here.
What have you been doing? I mean, you got a lot of goddamn off time now. Like, what are you doing off the court outside of rehabbing your ass off?
Making some dope-ass shoes.
Man, that's really what I've been
That I
rocking
need.
in on.
We gonna get to the
They can
day.
say it
it's coming.
It ain't time.
It's
Go
coming.
ahead,
I
keep
seen
going.
that segment.
Be prepared.
No, just been. I mean, I hang out with friends. Just it's like living the city life. I guess what you doing around the corner. I'm pulling up to go grab something to eat. Go have a drink. Go to the bar. Like it's just the city life. I guess It's just been.
You ran into any bad celebrity chicks out here yet?
Nah, not shit.
I need to come out here. We need to stroll around a little
Not
bit.
shit.
You might- I'm with KD. Ain't nobody I can get out not get with a KD.
Not shit.
What do you think about the pissed off Knicks fans that you didn't? Everyone thought, like, imagine KD going to the Knicks doing this and this, but you took the
Not
other
just
route.
him, everybody.
You know what I mean? You took the other route. So what do you think about
Everybody was
the
going
fans that just like?
That's the media hyping that shit up, man. I never came out and said anything about me wanting to play for the Knicks ever.
That was paid advertising.
Ever.
That was paid advertising.
sales
They was
ploy.
paying the papers to say that
Sales
shit, man.
ploy.
We know how it go now.
I never said. And then when we came here last year, they had the billboards up, and somebody asked me about it, and I wasn't too excited about it because I didn't like it. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't I got something against the Knicks. I just didn't like all that attention when I was playing for another team. So, like, I never really was big on that New York thing. It was just everybody else. The media and the fans, and obviously the New York Knicks fans, and they wanted a superstar to come play for them finally. But I never promised anybody I was playing for the Knicks. It was just all these stories that people like to read. So if they pissed off, it's just, you shouldn't be pissed off at me. Just the people that, the shit that you read, and those people who wrote that shit, they hyped you up.
It's easy. It's easy to be mad.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the beginning of your career with you, Russ, and James.
Lord have mercy.
Unfucking believable. Tell me what that was like when y'all first kind of finally came together and started clicking.
I mean, we didn't get enough time. I mean, who knows who we could have been.
How long did all three of you guys play together?
3 years.
Long enough to ruin my second ring.
Oh, yeah. Because y'all supposed to get that one. That was supposed to be the first Miami.
We got up 2-0 on y'all.
Yeah.
Something clicked and you and Russ just...
Start switching.
James too,
James the one.
on the road.
Because me and Russ already had it. We had it cooked
That
when
was
we was
rolling.
down 2-0, but James came along after that, and then we started switching all y'all shit, taking y'all out of all y'all shit then.
And Tony Parker wanted to save the day and fuck the whole shit off, as usual.
Tony Parker had 20 and 10 in the first half in Game 6.
How many turnovers he had
And then
other
after that,
games.
he was done.
He was trying to get the MVP.
And then that's when you didn't miss a shot in Game 6.
And then couldn't get the pill after that. Couldn't get the rock.
Shot. I was
6
like, this
couldn't get the rock.
motherfucker ain't missing nothing.
He was hating on you?
then this is what I remember. Not only was I wasn't getting the rock, he was killing, and Moms was over there in my ear the whole game.
His mom was talking shit?
Kill him, Kevin! Kill him! Talking bad to me, too. You know, Mom's
Man,
that's
that game-
family.
if
Trying
we'd have
to
lost
make
that
you
game,
blacker than you already are?
Yeah, she was
Talk your motherfucking ass up. Get his ass.
Yo, if we'd have lost
over.
that game, that'd have been tough beating y'all at home, Game 7.
That's what we was trying to at least get to Game 7. but
Y'all had
was
us
on.
up 17 in the first half. I'm like, oh shit, we might not get to the finals. We fucking around. But that team, we were so young and dynamic, and we, right when we hit our starting to get to our peak, we trade James. So we didn't really get a chance to see how good we got, because that next year we was hungry. We was hungry to get back to that chip. Like, we didn't care about nothing else but getting back to that chip. And that's in preseason, like we were, the first few training camp practices, you could tell it was a different energy. And then boom. James
All it
got
took was
you.
y'all not to sign one of them big men. Y'all could have kept James.
No, all it took for us is just sign them. Just kept everybody and just
Give him his
sign 'em.
motherfucking money.
Because you knew we was gonna at least get back, at least make it a rivalry with the Heat. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah.
And then when they'd have fizzled out, then
It was
here we
your
come.
time.
Right.
It was your time. What's your relationship like with these guys now? You know what I mean? They wanted to make it so much. You and Russ didn't get along. James is gone. You left. Russ is like, what's the relationship like with you guys, though? Because I'm sure it's different than what everyone thinks.
Me and Russ?
Just both those, yeah. Separately.
Oh man, it's cool. I mean, it's not like it used to be like when we were, talked every
Brothers,
day. Yeah, I mean, it's more professionals now. These dudes got their own lives. They got families. They got kids. Well, Russ got kids. I don't know about James.
Maybe a couple he might not.
Yeah, man. I don't know. But everybody living their separate lives, man. They, you dealing with real three stars in the league. Their own brands. These guys are traveling all summer.
MVPs.
MVPs. So it's like we gonna all go our separate ways, but there's always respect because we know it was like when we all didn't have this notoriety. We didn't have this type of accolades in the game. We was around each other when we really had nothing in it. As NBA players, we had to start from scratch. So it's fun seeing how big we all made this thing. You know what I'm saying? Because we envisioned that as youngsters.
And that's what I was about to say. That I said one thing y'all do have in common is y'all all know what it takes to be great.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that's one thing that always keep y'all with that respect.
I mean, you think about 3 core, and then they all went on to be MVP. Like, that's just crazy.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? And they all started, you know what I mean? Like, what if?
Yeah.
What if?
Yeah.
That's just imagine saying, switch. Oh, damn.
Right. Switch again.
I need to switch. Oh, shit.
Yeah, I mean, you getting switched on the 3 of the best
But
scorers.
the thing is, with James, though, and Russ, they would eventually have to figure out how James could be a starter, because we struggled when James started for us. I remember we played y'all one time, and James started. Russ, James, and me were 1, 2, and 3, and it just didn't work. You know what I'm saying? It was better when James had the command of the second unit. So eventually we had to figure out if James would become a starter or if he was going to stand at Ginobili role, which was way too small for him.
Right.
Yeah.
He
Obviously.
way more time out on the court, and
Right.
way more control of shit. So who knows how that'll work? You know what I mean? But it worked out perfectly individually for us all.
That's what it's about. If you take a look in your career, man, you've played with some of the greatest point guards ever.
Yeah.
Russ, Steph, you're going to play with Kyrie. Talk about that.
James,
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, lead guards is just something I always gravitated towards, even as a kid. You know, my best friend on the team was a point guard. Every stop, from middle school to high school. Me and Taiwan Lawson were like this. You know what I'm saying? Roommates everywhere. Me and DJ Augustine still brothers to this day. So always as a scorer, somebody that's gonna give you that pill.
Yes, come on, homie, come fuck
Come
with me.
on, man.
Yeah, right.
We homies from day one, so I always enjoyed lead guards, and I always felt like I wanted to play like them. I wanted to
At 7
be able
feet.
I wanted to be able to go through the lane like Russ. I took stuff from him. Steph, obviously, the way how quick he shoots the 3, and his handling, him get to the cup as a little guy. Like, I admire all of that shit about point guards more so than anybody else on the floor, because they gotta be leaders, they gotta defend the hardest position, and they gotta make sure everybody getting their shots. So, I just have major respect for guards.
Tell me who were some of the best teammates you ever played with.
Besides Matt, of course.
Now, we only got 3 months. Fucked up thing about, not to cut you off, fucked up part about it is, so I go to Golden State, I'm in the Boogie shit, and they trade Boogie. I think we're gonna make the playoffs, play the Warriors, probably get smacked, but we putting Sacramento back on the map. They trade Boogie, I'm like, I can't do this, I'm old, I gotta make a move. So I'm talking to Draymond every single day. I'm talking to Clay, Steph, they're talking to Bob. We want to, but we might need another point guard, so it's back and forth. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, I'm fucking around working out with my kids, and we go to KFC, and Steve hits me like, yeah, man, we lost Kevin tonight. We need you. So I come in, they plug me in, which you made fun of me with the Steph shit when I slept. But I come in, I played 25 minutes my first game, we rolling. His first game back, I almost break my ankle and I'm pretty much done. So we never got the chance to play together on the floor.
And that'd have been a nice combo, because I'd have been like the 5 in that group. You, Draymond, Steph, and Clay.
And y'all wouldn't have to teach him how y'all play. He used to it.
Yeah, that's the selfish.
We felt like him and Andre were like, I wouldn't say we interchangeable. It's like shit. It's 2 different dynamics. We can get Andre that can kind of be that athletic, fly, make the passes, and also switch everything. And then Matt was like more of a standstill, toughness, rebound, get you 10 bounds, and hit the 3. And I felt like, fuck, we really about to sweep through all of this shit. And then I got hurt. Then you fucked.
I got hurt bad. And I never, I tell people, only time I missed was when I get suspended. I'm going into the playoffs. I got a chance to win a ring finally. I know my career's coming. I'm on my back 9, and KD's back, so I'm juiced. I come out, hit my first 2 threes, and then I go up and I land on someone's ankle, bro. And I tell you, my ankle exploded. So
I
I'm
see how
trying to-
you ran back to the locker room. I was like, damn.
I tried my hardest too. I was smoking so much weed, hoping that shit would make my shit go down, icing it, rehab. Like, I gotta get back out there for these dudes, and I could just never get healthy. And then once I'm feeling somewhat okay, these motherfuckers are 8-0 already. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm smart enough to know, like, you don't disrupt that flow. I don't give a
At
fuck
all.
who you are.
Yeah.
So I'm just over here running, getting ready in case something happens, staying in shape, being the vet, talking to Clay, talking to dudes when they need to talk, lean on me, whatever. And I just had to, take it as a fan. So that's almost why, like, when I tell people, like, that shit was given, I don't really count it. You know what I mean? Like, that shit was a freebie. I said I had the best motherfucking seats.
Your son's
And I
got a
watched
great
these
experience.
boys, but
All
that was the best part.
Yeah.
Kid, man, that's
Twins. They was
man,
hanging
what?
everywhere. I mean, they was having shootouts with this dude in the Western Conference Finals in
Can't buy
practice.
that.
You know what I mean? And hanging with Steph and Clay and on the plane in the hotel. And you can't replace that shit.
That shit was a real family vibe.
shit was dope, man.
That shit was like
It's different.
Eric Hauser, as y'all know.
Oh, E,
that's
come
my
on,
guy.
man. We knew E back when he used to
Call
sleep
E
in the
right now.
equipment
What you
room,
need,
bro.
Jack?
E is the
Greatest
might be
dude
the
ever.
Greatest dude ever.
All time.
He's the reason why the Warriors are the Warriors, in my opinion. Just
I
like
agree.
that,
That
atmosphere,
process
like,
of the
keep
grind.
everything together, man. Like he makes sure everybody's straight, your family's straight. Like that's what that shit is about.
His
He has-
jersey, his name and jersey definitely
Come on.
going up.
Got
You gotta
to.
get a street somewhere or
All
something.
that.
That's how big he is to the
Shout out
Warriors.
E, man.
Yeah,
Shout
man.
out E. But back to, I'm sorry I interrupted you, but best teammates.
I had so many, man. Fuck.
This has been a
mean,
tremendous quarter for him. Everything
No point
he
cookie,
puts up
boy.
now
My
looks
brother
like
to the
he's going
definitely so happy for him.
They're losing their
But you know, you
concentration here,
shit,
guys.
man. That whole
Sloppy
Warriors mob,
with the
my
ball.
Thunder teams, that any team that you haven't run with,
You fuck with.
you
Like,
fuck with.
yeah.
Yeah. that's
Especially
what
if
it
you go past, if you go second round, like not just the first round run. You go second round.
We only made it to the first, but you couldn't tell us
is. We
shit,
won the
right?
championship after the first round.
Man, but y'all went to the second round though. That's
We went to
what
the second round. We won the championship
if
after
you
the
lose
game.
in that first
Right.
round, it's just like
It's
that's
whatever.
just an extra
You made
week.
it, right.
But like, if you got 2-3 weeks out of the
You
season,
prolonged summer.
you fuck with everybody on that team, and especially if you go to a chip run like you've been
Yeah.
on. And like we was on, like you fuck with everybody on that mob. So just shit, just about everybody. It's like only a couple people that I just was like didn't care too much about, but like I always respected them. But shit, I don't want to just name
All of them.
names.
It
I
was a
fuck
good
with
run,
everybody
hell of a
on my
run.
team,
I like
shit.
that. Talk to me about, because you're someone, you and your man Rich, shout out Rich. Rich is back here. You guys know him.
Rich.
The other side of the game, like, you are really taking advantage of business. And I think that might have started, I mean, obviously you guys have a great team, but, that's one of the main reasons, the Bay Area is what it is, that, and what you're doing in film and everything.
I mean,
Got tired of motherfuckers talking about me. I'm asking for. I got tired of motherfuckers saying shit about me, so I created my own shit, boardroom, ETC, and other shit, just so I could create my own narrative.
PG County, PG County coming out.
PG County, all that. Tell y'all what's really going on, so y'all can stop making up shit.
definitely. I mean, that's really what it is. Wanting to have some shit that we own, that's something that I can eventually, do when I'm done playing. Like, tell stories how we wanted to tell them. Give people our perspective on shit. There's so many platforms out nowadays, and you want to figure out ways to separate yourself and make cool content. And we came up with the boardroom. We got PG County docs. We doing shows for Apple. I mean, I could go down the line on shit that we want to do and that we did, but like, with the courts that we refurbished and the communities that we helped, I think that's really what it's about for us. Alongside of obviously the cool content shit that we do, the platforms that we created, just the impact that we have on these communities that I play in and that I lived in around these times is probably the most impactful thing that we can do.
Yeah, that training camp you had behind the walls and working with them guys hooping and
Yes,
stuff, dog,
sir.
it don't get no deeper than that.
No.
When you come from that and you know we got so many people
Yeah.
behind the walls that'll never get that experience.
The Warriors they do a great job with that. They go to San Quentin every the start of every season.
Jack,
man.
flip your jewelry, man. It's not shining the right way. Bing! Come on now. There you go.
Appreciate you,
Yeah,
man.
so I went with them that one time, and then we did the doc on it. We did the doc on for FS1 called Q Ball about
Q-Ball, yeah.
San Quentin, and that shit
Dope.
Man, you know how the game just bring everybody together, so just speak on that more so than anything. So.
Shout out
So many
PG.
guys back in the jail that could have been in the league.
Oh, there's no
bro.
question.
I'm
Shout
sure.
out, yeah. PG County, you're doing with Showtime, right?
Yeah.
So we got to shout out PG
Shout out
County.
Showtime.
Doc
Yeah,
coming
man,
soon.
you know.
Shameless plug. Trying to get that money.
Yes, sir.
But actually, Morgan Wooten passes. You know, talk about that.
Man, that's tough. You know, the basketball community, forget the community in general has so much love and respect for Morgan Wooten and what he's done for so many young black men in our area. Not just black men, but just men in general. And, you know, helping them get to college and just turning their lives around through the game of basketball. He impacted so many generations of people, you know, and to hear about him passing was definitely tough, you know, because like I said, that's all I knew about. That's who all the players coming up wanted to play for was Morgan Wooten and go to Thematic. So his legacy is going to live forever through his players, through his memories, through his family. And be a part of the basketball community and a huge part of the community forever. I'm sure a Hall of Famer.
You've invested in some dope tech communities, Coinbase, Master and Dynamics. You have, you know, a lot of different stuff going on. Where did the hunger for tech come in?
Man, just always seeing, you know, it start from getting the newest video games to getting the newest gadgets to getting to cell phones, you know, just progressing over time. You know, our life is basically run off of these things. And, you know, so to get an up-close and personal look on how this stuff is created and the work and the time that it takes to create these things, I think that was interesting. And moving to the Bay Area kind of gave me a real in-depth look on what this really is about. And we just started building relationships and then went from there and attaching ourselves to companies that are real authentic to what I do as well and what we do at 35 Ventures. So it just playing for the Warriors, winning basketball games and having those people at our game is
Crazy,
pretty
right?
easy.
Crazy.
To build those relationships.
The plug. Talk to me about your brother Rich, the partnership and love you guys have for each other, but also the friendship and what he has meant to your off the court movement and success.
Man, it meant a lot, you know. So when I went over I had two agents before the time I was with Pelinka and Aaron Goodwin, two great agents over time, and I just wanted to change, and I went over to Rock Nation, and Rich was the first guy to greet me and kind of take over what I was doing, and we just built that relationship over time, and we had conversations over time about what it would look like if we started something together, and we just did it. We just went and did it, and, you know, with the blessing from everybody that we worked with before, and, you know, having that kind of like that teaching from what Rich had at Rock Nation and learning the business and learning just lifestyle in general, entertainment business, sports, loving sports.
How they all intersect.
Yeah, just how they all intersect, and somebody that was so well-versed in everything, well-rounded in everything. I wanted to be a part of what I did, so it made sense at the time.
What does the advancement in mental health in this era that players are more susceptible to talking about it mean to you?
I feel like every player wants to give a deeper perspective on what they go through as just men in general, and especially in this life, in this profession. And it's a lot of mental hurdles and obstacles that you got to run through in order for you to reach your highest peak as an individual. So whether it's the great times or whether it's like the low points in your life, I feel like just hearing that perspective is only going to help others. And to have the courage to talk about it in front of people is something I enjoy seeing from my peers. And the judgment, there's no judgment from anybody. It's real open, dope dialogue when it comes to it, and I think it's a perfect time for it.
What does it do to your psyche or your mental approach when you hear people talk crazy to you? Disrespectful, negative, like what does that do? I mean, to be who you are, like we talked about earlier, people think you just turn your back. You choose not to, which I respect. But what does it do to you when you just always hear, because people don't really know you. They know the player, and that's what they don't like. So to be able to separate the player and the person, what does it mean to you as the person when, if they knew you, they would really fuck with you, but they don't know the player, so they want to hate on you?
It just all depends on the environment, you know. If I'm out on the street, nobody's ever walked up to me and disrespected me.
No, they wouldn't. Right.
Not like that.
Right.
Nobody coming up and calling me no bitch in my face or saying anything disrespectful to anybody I'm with, because I don't give off that energy. You know what I'm saying? I don't come off as if I'm bigger than life or, you know, you owe me anything. So I don't get that in person, but on the internet it's different. You know, you're gonna get all types of shit on the internet, and that is what it is. It's fun. Everybody uses that place to kind of get off that anger that they always had, you know, and which they would never say in person.
Ever.
So it's like I get what you're using it for, but at games when fans heckle me and talk shit about me and call me all types of names and tell me I got the worst hair in the league, that shit powers me up. It makes me feel like I'm the best player in the world because you come here to talk shit to me, I always obviously make you feel away.
Right, there's only a reason.
There's only a reason. So, you know, it just powers me up to another level. It charges me up. I like it. I enjoy it. I actually encourage it.
I got some talking about your hair. I got some men's grooming products with some dope shit that Jack fucks with some of it.
I'm just gonna go ahead and get that Dion. So Dion, whoever did your
Dion,
shit,
yeah.
back.
Yeah, he all the way live.
Came
No
back.
bullshit, he all the way live.
I'm telling you.
Is LeBron gonna make the transformation? What's he gonna do? Is he gonna
I think he
come
gonna-
home?
I think
It's kind of too late because he already got the back nine.
The back
He
nine
got
is
the swimming
leaving?
pool in the backyard, so that's already there. How can you cover that?
So he just has to
Artificial
come, just come home and go bald with it?
I'm just saying.
I think eventually dude's gonna go bald. I think
That's
he'll go
tough.
bald.
I think that's the best bet.
I think I'd be fucked up if I had to go
Because the
bald.
world done seen the headband push, you know what I'm saying? The world done seen the headband push their line back. The whole little apartment
Ain't no
was coming
coming back.
Yeah, it wasn't glued down together that night.
He make it work. He make it work though.
Yeah, he make that
definitely
thing
make it
work.
With no headband.
You got to keep the headband away. The headband is
Yeah,
too.
the headband
like,
fucked
like
up.
you know what I mean? It's too tough on the
exposed
line.
It exposed it.
Yeah, that shit is tough.
Nah, he make that thing work.
He
though.
definitely make it work. You got that's Bron. That's the king.
Definitely.
When you hear people talk about, because to me at one point, playing against you, playing with you, it wasn't taken away from LeBron's greatness and his track record, what he's accomplished throughout his career and would continue to accomplish. At the current time, you were the best player in the world. Did you ever feel that way?
I felt unstoppable for sure.
Taking long for you to answer that.
No,
man.
I felt unstoppable because I don't really look at it as like I'm better than anybody. I ain't trying to look at it that way because
Okay, I respect that.
everybody brings something unique and different to the table, and the circumstances and situations is different. Like you never know how good dudes will be in certain situations. So I know I got a lot of talent, and I know I can do everything on the court, and I know I can play any role at an efficient and elite level. Whatever that puts me, that's whatever it is. I'm sure any coach or any GM would love my talents on their team.
Right.
Shit.
So like, wherever that puts me, man. You know what I mean? So that's how I looked at it.
If that had been me to make that three in Cleveland in the finals to win the championship,
Hold up.
fuck your mama, everybody, oh Lord, I don't know what I would have done.
Man.
I don't know what I would have made that a big shot like that.
You
Like,
bitch you.
I'm the best in the world. This is why I would have told everybody. Like I would have lost it.
Man, I felt like
You had to feel some of that inside.
I felt that like that shot gonna always be. They're gonna rerun that shot.
Remember, yes
forever.
sir, yes sir.
They're always gonna rerun
Remember that
back.
shit.
And if they don't, I'm sure everybody in the Bay Area is, and that's good enough for me.
But you hit that same shot when you came back in the finals this year, top of the key. That same walk up three.
Oh yeah, that next season.
That boy
Same
came in
walk-up three.
cooking too.
Same walk up three.
He came in cooking. I was scared though, because I was in Hawaii watching you. I remember one time you got fouled, but you took someone off the dribble. Like, no, Katie, just stay out on the three-point line and just shoot these motherfucking eyeballs out for the rest of the time.
Oh yeah. You talk about this last finals.
Yeah, and when you took, if someone fouled you, then they stopped and I just like,
And it's hard, you know, man. Shit, you
Yeah.
get into that zone. It's
You-
hard for you to
come on,
like.
man.
It's hard for
so
you
used to doing something.
Yeah, I can't.
100. You gotta go 100.
Gotta go 100.
Yeah.
Gotta go
Got
100.
to. And I was like, I felt good enough to go 100. And it was like, you need some rest right now. Good shit.
It looked good as fuck, bro. I know you was like the first three that went in.
And my whole thing is like, I like having those moments where people gonna always be like, damn, those 11 minutes though, those 12 minutes,
Yes,
bro.
that boy was
Yeah.
on something. I like having that little feeling, man, because that's what the game about.
That's dope. Top 5 artists.
Come on. I mean, I'm just gonna say Drake is creeping up to be the greatest.
Of all time.
Yeah.
You can't fight that.
That's the only thing I'll say.
Is there anyone else in the category?
Jay-Z is gonna be hard to. It's always hard to compete against Jay-Z.
To
because
dethrone him.
He done opened up so many lanes and doors for everybody in this music shit. But when I listen to music and listen to Drake, it's just hard to deny what he got to say. We could talk about music all fucking, like, I feel like Wayne is a GOAT when we talking about this
Yes,
type of
yes,
music.
He
Like,
touched the status already.
the lane that he created for these dudes is the only reason why a lot of these rappers is in the game.
Yep.
Young Thug, same way. Future, the same way. Hov, the same way.
Yep.
Like, Drake, I feel like they all on that same plane.
Opening
J.
the
Cole,
doors.
like,
All different
they
styles are
op-
opening
yeah.
doors for everybody.
I feel like they unlock so many different genres within hip hop. It's not just one thing now. Like, I feel like it's all different types of hip hop, different lanes that they opened up. And so many other kids got these opportunities now to change their lives off of it. So, like, it's hard for me to name a few artists, but, like,
You like NBA YoungBoy?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
That's all I listen
Boy,
to.
he go hard.
Yes, sir. I mean, Kodak Black, he
Yeah.
the Kodak
Animal.
Black he one of the ones for me. Gunna,
Yes.
like they one of those ones where I can listen to all day, every day, and really, really respect them like they OGs in the game. Like them dudes, young, but they get it. You know what I'm saying?
The baby, I like it. He go hard. If you could have one like song that you walk out to, what would that be?
And he
Of all time?
Immediately, great reaction on that deflection. A little bit late there, but you tried to
That's
get it
tough.
to
What's your Rocky music? What's your Rocky thing?
That's tough. I'm gonna have to go. It's got to be Jay-Z. It's gonna have to be.
You want your bigs playing
It's gonna have to
big.
be public service
Sit down
announcement.
and
Jay-Z.
It's stolen.
It's gonna have to be a Wayne. Fuck, man.
That's tough.
Just under
That's
2.5
tough.
minutes
I'm
gone
gonna
here
go
in
with
the
public
final
service announcement then.
What would yours be?
Yeah.
Some Pac shit.
Some Pac shit?
Yeah,
Anything pop.
Pac,
Just hardcore pop.
hardcore.
Something from
You
I
think
like
Pac
his-
is the greatest?
Yeah, to me he is, because I think he had a song for every mood that we naturally go through. Whether you're black, white, male, female, like there's love, there's anger, there's happiness, there's kill, there's all the emotions we go through. That motherfucker had a hit for all of them. You know what I mean? And to be so young and so far ahead of his time as far as vision. You know what I mean? And seeing what the world can be. But then in similar ways, like he's speaking his mind against the bullshit he's seen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
to me,
He had like black protest music on top of like
He was
party music,
raised,
on top
yeah.
of street shit. Like he had
love, you know what I mean?
love, like,
touched
Babies,
everything.
like, you know what I
Touched
mean? So
everything.
to me, that's why he's my go-to. You've been name dropped, Drake, J. Cole, Jay-Z, to name a few. What was your favorite song your name was dropped in?
Probably that Western Road flow, that Drake. Shout out to KD, we relate, we get the same attention. Like, and that was back then, before I was getting even as much attention as I was. That was like,
OKC, right?
Yeah, that was like when I was just
That's when me and you was doing something.
we got a song.
Y'all rap together, right?
Yeah, man, we gotta get back in. But
over to the left wing.
I seen the joint you dropped, a little snippet you dropped. You
Yeah.
hear that? I replayed
Hold
that
it tight,
joint
hold it
back.
tight, hold it
That
tight.
shit was hard. But
Appreciate
nah,
it.
that Drake was
By 18.
that's probably the best one. He was really flowing on that record.
Three-point range.
But you know, shit. Anytime any rapper, any artist can think about me while they going through their process, I appreciate
That was
that.
but just how you word played that shit.
Yeah,
was
man.
crazy.
He's slick as
Yeah,
fuck with
man.
it. I fuck with Drake. Had
That's how
some
you
on
really
Drake.
know you kind of made it though.
He talented, bro.
When you
Yeah.
cross over to the entertainment side, when people, you know, putting your name in raps and in their art, that shit
Yeah.
is amazing. I appreciate it. So
This is dope. If you could have played in another era of basketball, 70s, 80s, 90s, what would it be and why?
I would want to see MJ in his heyday. Like,
You want to get looked at by MJ?
yeah, for sure.
He said I want to.
For sure. For sure. I mean, because he wouldn't, at that time, he wouldn't have played against a guy my length, or,
Right.
you know what I'm saying, that
Right.
can actually shoot as well and get to the, and can score, you know what I'm saying? And so I felt like that'd have been a fun matchup, and it'd have been tough to fucking, MJ was, he the greatest, man.
Yeah.
And just to be on the court and just soak up that greatness and compete against that, that'd have been like some,
Imagine KD with Sean Kemp and Gary Payton.
that'd have been the toughest series for them boys.
That would have been a ring.
That'd have been a tough.
That would have been a ring. You put KD on that team, that would have been a ring.
See, that's when I started looking at myself a little different now. I was like, hold up, so if I could start on that team for the Sonics, like
No
I could
que-
start on a couple teams back in the 90s. I feel like my game can translate, you know, through eras. So, you know, that's how I start to, you know, look at myself a little different after that.
That's
you know what I'm
dope.
saying?
That's big. If you could pick 4 other legends to hoop with you at the park, You're in. Who are your other 4?
Shaq, MJ Cole.
So no problem for Seattle as they get
I'm
the
telling,
win.
ain't nobody else showing up.
And the cameraman, one of the cameramen. It don't fucking, it don't
Ain't
matter
nobody else
what.
showing up to that park, bro. Y'all gonna be, ain't nobody else showing up.
Who's your
there.
5th?
Fuck.
My 5th. My 5th gotta be probably T-Mac. Probably T-Mac. I say we just play. I just say we play 2-on-2s, and then add another guy, maybe 3-on-3s. But that team couldn't play against nobody.
God.
She's a cheat code.
Man, no way.
Best player you've ever played with? You played with some motherfuckers too, boy.
You ain't played with Kyrie yet, so he ain't.
I ain't putting. I won't
he
put
not in the
Kyrie.
conversation.
Nah, he can't be. I ain't played with him.
Yeah, you ain't played with him yet.
It's a tie between Steph and Russ. It's got to be.
2 killers.
What?
2 completely different
I
styles
say-
too.
I-
Game changers.
Yeah, because Russ, I never ever feared that he was gonna lose a matchup. I never come into the game and was like, oh, Russ just can't handle this guy tonight. You know what I'm saying? That's one
That's
thing I never
crazy.
worried about. And it's like, as a leader of a team, you worry about so much shit coming into a game. It's like, is Andre gonna be able to knock down a shot tonight? Is he gonna be aggressive? He gonna shoot with confidence? Is Serge gonna shoot with confidence? They gonna be into it. They gonna make sure they locking in on their matchup. So much to the point you forget about yourself sometimes. And one thing I didn't ever have to worry about was Russ. And having that comfort and having that type of like, just knowing I can have that ease coming into the game from the point guard.
Got somebody to rely on.
Yeah, it was just like made my life easier. And I felt the same way with Steph. You know what I'm saying? Because like I know for a fact that no point guard want to guard him because he ain't gonna stop moving. So that's gonna take a little bit of energy from him. And he gonna play with that dog where it's like he trying to destroy you when he was scoring. You know what I'm saying? And our game plan was to get him open at all times. And he not gonna stop. And so I can rely. When you can rely on people. Damn, and Clay too. They gotta put Clay in there with them three.
They all winners.
They all the
winners.
same type.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got
He's
the
a
dog.
killer.
Clay got the dog. Like authentically, he's authentic dog. Like knows role. I'm gonna knock down this tray ball. I'm gonna get to the cup here and there, but I'm locking up the player in front of me. And like those 3 is a tie between those 3 my favorites. Yeah, they made my life way easier mentally.
Dope. Last question. Jack and I are people who use cannabis during our career and really try to advocate for it now. We feel like if it's used correctly, it could be very beneficial for athletes in today's game. I know you feel similar with that. You've invested in a cannabis company. Tell me what you think about the nature of cannabis and how professional sports can implement it into bettering their athletes in recovery.
Well, I just think it should be taken off the bad substance list. And if, you don't have to implement it in anything. It's one of those plants that if it's an acquired taste, like if you love it, you love it. If you don't, you're not even gonna pick it up. So like, it shouldn't even be a discussion nowadays. It's just like marijuana is marijuana. It's not harmful to anybody. It only can help and enhance and do good things. And I feel like it shouldn't even be a huge topic around it anymore. Like, is it great? Is it good for you? Can it help? Is it bad? But when everybody on my team drinks coffee every day, right? And taking caffeine every day, or guys go out to have wine after games, have a little drink here and there. It's like marijuana should be in that tone. Like, why are we even talking about it? It shouldn't even be a conversation now. So hopefully we can get past that and the stigma around it and know that it's done nothing but
Make people have a good time.
make people have a good time, make people hungry, make people just come together. That plant brings us all together.
Focus,
So,
relaxation.
Yeah, we
Good job,
recovery.
baseball. Great job.
Great job, baseball.
MLB, we
We
feeling you
start getting
guys.
people out of jail for marijuana. That's the next step, and we just keep going. But it's a plant that was put here for a reason, and it's to all bring us together, man. Hopefully it happens, especially in the NBA.
Right.
KD, we appreciate you, my brother.
No, bro.
Thank you for taking some time.
We missed the
Okay.
Vegas segment, so I need some shoes. Dog.
Oh no, we got to get back online. Oh, we're not done yet. Real quick, be quiet.
Blame him because he posted
yeah.
all them shits on his page.
Okay,
Oh,
here we
shit.
go.
Blame him. Blame him.
So
He
this
posted all them
is
shits on his page.
a special segment, KD. We like to call Jack a motherfucking banger, but it's working out well. Jack, what do you need from KD?
shoes. The shoes.
Which ones?
All of them.
All of
Your
them.
boy been posting them. You got some new kicks out.
Just ain't all of
But
them.
this, my son, you sent my son some last ones. I appreciate that. He brought them to my attention. You got some new ones out. So it just so happened I follow your boy. It's a lot of colors going on. You even got inspired a pair. I'm on all of them. Me and my son need them. It's the biggest thing.
And I'm just gonna tell Rich, because he's behind the camera, my twin to AU team needs a new shipment of KDs. Rich, appreciate you.
Appreciate you, KD.
We need those. Maybe a couple colors, because we're nice as fuck, by the way.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
G1 Elite, we nice, yeah. We just won the MLK tournament a couple weeks ago, man. We doing it. But anyway, man, KD, we appreciate you. Jack needs some shoes. What size?
14.
14s. Man, that's a wrap. Episode 14. You can catch us on Showtime Basketball, YouTube, or all platform streaming podcasts. 2020 Takeover. All the smoke. You bitch you.
Nice move. Nifty move. They get it again. Outside Durant. The three is up. Maker with a rebound.
He is just so deadly from out there. You expect that to fall.
They set the screen. From deep three-point range. Oh, he missed it. Making him 1 for 2 now. .110 left in the first quarter.
All these years we've been building. When that opportunity do come my way, that's when the magic happens.
Growing up in the Edelman household was crazy.
Depression, anxiety, those were things I had.
Stolen by Davis.
I had haters before, I just got more now.
Legalizing sports gambling might as well legalize cocaine and crystal meth.
So many people wanted Sonny dead. The question is, who got to him first?
This is the hard work part.
Well, he hasn't put up any
It's the
points
part
yet.
that don't see.
We help people understand football.
Holy goodness smokes!
Back to Durant.
Mamma mia! What a fight!
Kevin Durant with the foul. That's his first foul of the game.
I love great defense. Just quick to establish his feet, and he takes the hit.
We've got 33 seconds left in the first quarter.
All right, man, so shit. Normally we shoot in Santa Monica or in New York, but today we made a special road
Here's
trip
Davis.
to go see the one and only.
One and only.
Yeah, I mean, we had to drive an hour and a half in traffic to see Cole.
It don't matter. We had to drive backwards. I was gonna get to his house and ask for these damn shoes one way or another.
That's the first thing you gonna do.
First, Cole, how you doing? Look, man, I've been looking. It's the shoes called the Undefeated Pack. We gotta be fresh on the court.
No, but I'm excited, you know what I mean? Like I said, he's someone that from the jump, you know, him coming to LA when I was at UCLA, you got to play with the McDonald's game. We kind of saw the beginning, and kind of just seen him continue to evolve and continue to be, at one point, you know, the greatest player in the game, and then one of the all-time greats, you know. So I think to have the chance to sit down and chop it up and reminisce and see what he's got going on post-career now, I think it's just gonna be dope.
Not only do it somebody who probably my favorite player of my time,
Right.
but somebody that I grew up with, you know, like I said, able to play the McDonald's game with. But last time I saw him was when he was able to talk to my son.
Okay.
On his farewell tour, and I never got a chance to tell him thank you. So this will be a great time to, you know, to pick his brain, see what he got going on, you know what I mean, and you know, rap with Bean, man.
I think everyone thinks that he and I are enemies or don't fuck with each other because that shit that happened in Orlando with the ball fake, but that's what kind of really...
He ain't like that.
Nah, that's what really brought us together. You know, that's what, you know, after that season, he hit me up like, yo, you want to be a Laker? I said, hell yeah, and he said, anyone crazy enough to fuck with me is crazy enough to play with me. So I think there's such, like, when people still, you know, Kobe doesn't like you, you guys, I'm just like, it's not even like, to be honest with you, what you're talking about is what really brought us closer and made us become friends, you know. So we had battles, but then, you know, as teammates, man, we had some crazy off the court fun shit we did.
You know what I remember, dog? This is the first time I ever seen Kobe out. I was in Milwaukee. We played job. Remember, I was suspended.
We came to the club.
You
and me and Kobe
you called me like, bro,
I'm bringing Cole. I'm like, man, Cole ain't going out. He's like, bro, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And I walked in the club, and Cole was in there, and I couldn't believe it, bro. He's like, bro, I'm telling you now, he going out, bro. I'm telling you, he coming out with me.
Cause I was in my room, you know, I was pre-gaming. I went in the room, burned one real quick, and then I'm like, yo, what's going on, man? Let's do something. Yeah, and then he's all right, let's go. We went in all cities we went out Milwaukee.
Yeah, when you called me like, bro, I'm telling you, we going out. I couldn't believe it.
Nah, we bonded instantly, man, like I said, on and off the court. You know, we were both going through some stuff in our personal life. So it was just like on the court we balled, but then off the court we kicked it and we went out and did stuff. And, you know, rolling with him was a whole nother monster, man. We going to all these black tie events and you see that's kind of when I kind of owe it to Cole, is, you know, kind of started seeing these Hollywood women, you know what I mean? And going to events with him. And once you open that door for me,
oh yeah, you ain't gotta open it no more. Yeah, I'm gonna walk myself in.
I'm gonna do my thing. So, you know, that's kind of like the 2000, when I was separated at the time, the 2010 time. Whew, that was the beginning of something beautiful.
California love.
Man, you already know.
A Laker?
Yeah, and with arguably one of the greatest Lakers.
Yeah, of all time.
Yeah. The teammate on the road, just his focus it doesn't deter. He'll go out and have a good time. It's not like he's gonna go out all night and go crazy, but if it's a situation where he does go out, you know what I mean, the next morning he's up early, and like the schedules, you know, hadn't changed. You know, he's someone that, you know, insisted on working
They have
out.
a glass of wine every now and then, huh?
The vino.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But he'll get out there and still do his early morning pre-practice workouts or pre-shoot-around workouts. Like, he was a beast. You know what I mean? Like, he enjoyed himself, but at the same time, he never let it take away from his craft.
Ultimate
you know what I mean?
professional.
And that's what I think he held people to a standard. You know, you want to go out, you want to go have fun, go do that, but don't let that fuck up what we got going on the next day. I don't know if he could have handled seeing what the kind of shit we did with the We Believe team, though. But like you said, we still came out and did our thing, though. Every night. But we was in the streets every night with that team.
If we was doing that and winning, he would have respected it, because that's all he was about.
Right. At the end of the day, it's about do your job.
But what you do off the court, as long as you winning. Let's go. All the smoke.
I'm looking forward to this. Obviously, I think our goal is to have a candid conversation and get some shit out of him that he doesn't normally talk about.
This motherfucker, I'm actually enjoyed playing against and enjoy watching. So I'm actually a fan of this motherfucker.
And you can ask him about who deserved MVP in the McDonald's game.
Yes, I have to get that answer.
If he stamps you, you're good. Because I don't know if I believe it because I didn't watch the game. So if he stamps you,
if Kobe stamps that I should have won MVP in the McDonald's 96 All-American game, somebody needs to send me a trophy.
Y'all heard that? You better send that shit.
I'm excited though. This is gonna be one for the books. All the motherfuckers smoke.
Let's have a great show.
Let go.
Welcome back. All the Smoke, episode 11, ringing in 2020. My guy.
11. I don't know how to say that in Spanish. Is it once? I
don't know.
How you say that in Spanish?
You played in Mexico,
once.
didn't you?
Once. I got it.
We got
Right,
a special
baby.
guest, man. Cole, we appreciate you, man.
What's up, man?
Thank you for your time. We've been looking forward to this, man. The fans have been asking, you need to get Kobe, you need to get Kobe. So we finally got Kobe, man.
All right.
We appreciate you, man.
You got it, man.
So let's get into it, man. What is the difference between Kobe Bryant post-career and the Mamba, the killer we saw on the court?
Well, yeah, I think it's just, a lot of the mentality is still the same. The industry just changes, right? So the same focus, same attention to detail. It's even more so now because, when you play, you got to take time off. You got to let your body heal. You got to do certain things. In business and in creativity, there is no off switch.
Day by day.
Because your brain's constantly working, right? So, the similarities are there. It's the focus, attention to detail, and you try to surround yourself with people that are just as maniacal as you are about their craft. And then the differences are I don't have to put my body through hell every day.
Yeah, true. Some of the things I've seen post-career that I love are obviously, you coaching your daughter and then your new fascination with writing novels. Can you go into detail with those?
Yeah, well, coaching the kids is fun. It just kind of came out of nowhere because my daughter just decided she wanted to play about 2.5 years ago. And so started coaching her a little bit, and then she made a local all-star team. And that's where we met the rest of the girls that are now on the team. And, they all started at the real kind of ground level.
but they enjoyed playing so much, it just kind of grew into what it is now. And it's been a lot of fun. And then the novel writing really started just with the kids. The kids can't keep reading stories that have no relation to them whatsoever. And I don't mean just from like, diversity, like a color standpoint, not only just that, but from the fact that they're athletes and there's no story that kind of speaks to athletes. It's all like, there's princesses and sleep and Prince wakes you up with the kiss and all that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to read my daughters that,
Right.
we enjoy that stuff, but it's not, it's not reality of it. You're not going to sleep and then wake up years later and be successful.
Right.
The
process
you got to
there.
work. You
Right,
got to work. So I wanted to create stories that I could read to them, for athletes that go through that type of stuff.
Right. Tell me what it's like coaching your daughter, because I coach my boys. We'll be at the same tournament coming up this weekend. What is it like for you being on that sideline?
It's fun because I get a chance to sit and watch and ask questions. That's really my job, and my coaching staff's job is to really ask questions, and let them figure things out throughout the course of the game. And you'll win some and you'll lose some that way. We'll probably win a lot more if we felt like we would micromanage how they play the game and call plays and sets and all sorts of stuff. But we really just kind of sit back and let them process things and figure things out, because we are playing for the long game of them being the best basketball players they can be. But it's fun to sit there and watch them hoop.
I love it.
You didn't want an Oscar. We have a dream of winning an Emmy with our show. You didn't want an Oscar and an Emmy. Tell me what did that feel like to be able to say, to win an Oscar? Of course you wanted to be with 6 rings with Mike.
Yeah.
But you have something that he probably never get. You know what I mean?
One of these.
You know what I'm saying? Can't get one of these. So tell me about that.
It's different because in competition, it's a direct competitive thing. You know who your competitors are. You know who you
We got that bad.
face. Like, you know that. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's a direct competition. When it comes to the arts, it's not that. You just try to create the best thing you possibly can and then see how, in this case, the Academy responds to it. So it's very different. Like sitting there at Oscar night, like there's nothing you can do. Like there's no need to be nervous. There's no need to because things are what they are. It's out of your hands. You did the best job that you could possibly do. And then you go from there. But the biggest lesson learned from is you work with brilliant people that see the world the same way and magical things happen. And that's true across industries. I got John Williams and Glenn Keane, who have never met, but they are both giants in their respective industries, see their craft the same way, and you put them on a project together and,
What was it like for you coming into this business space overall with all your success you've had in sports? I kind of feel like that next step in life, people either they praise you for what you did and eager to work with you, or they're like, oh, this motherfucker thinks because he won 5 titles that he can do whatever he wants.
It's a little bit of both, right? So I can get any meeting, but then it's the follow-up. Right, or I used to get things all the time where it's, come in for the meeting for this company that you want to build, these ideas that you want to build. That's all cool. And then you sit down and they're trying to pitch you on being on the show, being in front of the camera. I'm like, I'm not about that. Right. So it kind of, it goes both ways. And so what we've had to do is just build it ourselves. Because we just got sick and tired of it. Trying to go out and partner with people that, act like they believe in the vision, but when the push comes to shove, they really don't. They just want me and my 20 years.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to put that to bed and build something for the next 20 years. And the best way to do that is to do that ourselves.
Right. What was a pivotal moment growing up where you developed your desire and the tremendous work ethic I speak on and mental toughness that you have? What, was there early on? Pick that up?
I'm trying to remember. I mean, we had a really competitive household with my cousins and, my father and my uncle and stuff. Like, we was very competitive. And, you had to really, really work to just survive. That's with swimming, that's playing basketball, that's playing video games, whatever. I mean, it was a shit-talking family. Like, when you lose, you not only lose, but you get embarrassed while you lose.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I grew up in that kind of environment. So you had to work hard just to kind of keep your head above water, sort of thing. And I came into the NBA, I was like, man, these dudes really don't work that hard. It was kind of an eye-opener. I was like,
but you started off young, like, we the same age, we grew up, but like you had a kill list at 13.
I did.
And I know we the same age, I'm glad I wasn't on it then. I'm glad I wasn't on your kill list then. We was the same age coming up.
That's like that Billy Madison shit, like, check.
Yeah.
No,
who was on your kill list at 13, bruh?
Well, Tim Thomas.
Yeah, of course.
Tim Thomas
was.
Rip? No, Rip wasn't, because Rip and I were, like, both nobodies.
Yeah.
So he went to Coatesville. I was in Lower Marion. So we were nobodies. So we played on the same AAU team together. And so we were really close. So he might have had a kill list too.
So the kill list was what, just people ranked higher than you?
Ranked higher. Because I like going into my sophomore year, I was probably ranked somewhere in like the top 200, something like that. And then it kind of went up 150, and then by the time I was a senior, it hit number one. But J.O., Jermaine was up there, Lester Earl,
Corey Benjamin,
Holloway, Corey Benjamin,
Mike Bibby.
You know what? I mean,
that was our class.
Our class was, you know, I tell you what, the first time I actually ever heard E40 was at a All-American camp.
Yeah.
We were all hanging out in dorms. And back then it was nothing but Biggie, Nas,
right?
That's
it.
Stuff, right?
That's it.
So they were playing E40 and shooting craps, and I'm like, man, what, y'all gotta show me. What is this? What's going on right now? You know, so it was fun getting to know everybody, and you know, and then seeing kind of where we've all gone since then.
Well, you guys played in the McDonald's game together, and Jack Hatherster, you won MVP, right?
No,
I won MVP.
I should have won MVP.
You did win MVP, didn't you?
So see, I'm glad you said that, Cole. So
who won MVP?
Shaheen Holloway. He had like 10 turnovers too, bro. But you know what got him MVP? Remember the bounce pass to Lester Earl and he dunked on Voss?
Yeah.
I think that was the big play. But I led the game in scoring. I actually was 8 for 10 from the field, 3 for 3 from the three-point line. But our team, me, you, Rip, Jermaine O'Neal, and Shaheen Holloway.
Yeah.
Crazy starting five.
That's great. I thought you did win MVP.
No, I didn't.
So he loves the fact that you thought he should have.
But he said that. That's all I wanted to hear.
He wanted that.
All I
We
wanted
were
to
talking
hear.
about this before. He's like, Shaheen Holloway won, but Kobe knows I should have won.
I thought you did.
I did. Shaheen won it.
Oh, damn.
It was dope though. It was a great experience because our team though, you gotta let like me, you, Jermaine.
How many made a long career out of it?
All of us, like you know what I mean.
Rip has some video because remember his pops used to travel around with the camcorder all the time.
Yes.
And so he was showing me some clips from some of his old footage and watching us knuckleheads walk around.
I posted a picture recently of me, you, Mike Bibby, and Rip at the McDonald's game.
Dude, that's crazy.
That's when me and you first met.
That's nuts.
Yeah, that's when we first met.
Y'all old now.
It's getting better. We getting better now.
We talked about this a little bit off camera when we were talking about Stephen A. Smith and kind of how the roles are reversed now, and he's kind of almost in a player's perspective where he's getting criticized and everything. Was there anything as a player that you remember that was said about you or written about you that really kind of stung and hurt throughout your career?
You know what's funny? All of it does. You know, a lot of stuff said about me are selfishness type of stuff. It's like, bro, you can't win 5 rings being selfish. Doesn't happen. But I get that's kind of become the mantra. It's kind of become the slang, the vernacular, the running joke. He doesn't pass and all sort of crap. I mean, that's okay, you know, but I'll take those 5.
5
Right, I'll take 5.
It's a lot.
I know me and Matt, and I know you too, like, I've been misunderstood, and I honestly feel like I missed a couple All-Star appearances due to the brawl.
Sure.
You know, and I've been misunderstood because you know me and he know me, and I'm not the person that they label me to be after being a loyal teammate.
Right.
What's the most misunderstood thing about you?
Well, I think it's that, man. I think it's the selfishness or, you know, arrogant. Well, maybe not the arrogance.
You have to be though. You have to be. You have to be.
Maybe not that.
You have to be though.
I mean, you know, when I'm playing, it's a different side of it. I think it's the perception of the way I am on the court is the way I am off the court. It's 2 completely different things, man. 2 completely different things. I mean, I can be an absolute teddy bear at home with my family, with my kids, and enjoying that family time. And I'm really psychotic about having that family time, making sure we're doing what we have to do as a family. I'm doing school drop-offs and pickups, and you know, giving my babies a shower and doing all this stuff. Like I'm making sure I'm there for them as much as possible, right? And so, but on the basketball court, it's a completely different animal. And I think the biggest thing is, you know, I see people saying, "Well, I don't like him."
And what?
Okay.
Right.
I mean, who are you?
Right.
You know, like that sort of stuff. But it's all good. It comes with the territory.
Have you ever shot an air ball from the free throw line?
No.
So how do you feel that you should be, if you're a top 10 player in the league, you should ever shoot an air ball at the free throw line?
I'm sure it happens.
But you haven't.
I've never.
I haven't. I've never been top 10. I don't think if you're a top 10 player, you should never shoot an air ball free throw.
Are you referring to something in particular?
Just people, stars, all stars, period, because multiple all stars have done it.
Yeah, I can only speak from personal experience, man. I've never shot an air ball.
And okay, you haven't? Okay.
Nah. Not even with my left hand.
Not even my left hand, right?
All right. This year will be, when June rolls around, 20 years since you won your first title. What immediately comes to your mind? Crazy, right?
Damn, really?
Yeah.
Long time.
Whoa. Oh man. Shit. Nah, I remember just us, being really excited that we got through Portland.
They were tough.
What?
Tough. We had Bonzi on set a couple weeks ago, and he
nightmare.
was telling us about that series and how back and forth
He
it
was
was.
a nightmare. He was a nightmare matchup for me, man, because I was really scrawny and like 120 soaking wet, and he would just try to beat the shit out of me in the post. And him, Stacey Augman, they really helped me develop my post defensive presence because that was a weakness. I had to develop that quite a bit. But I remember just going into the Indiana series, we were just ready. We were confident. We knew how we wanted to execute. We knew what we needed to do, and we just tried to take them out their sets as much as possible, man. And then, Jalen slid his foot under mine and caused the series to go a little longer than it should have. But ultimately, we got it done.
Any pregame rituals or superstitions that you had throughout your career?
Nah, I don't have none.
Just go out there and go to war.
Man, I go out and hoop, man. Like sometimes, like on game day, if I'm tired, I go to sleep. If I'm not, I won't.
You never
walking around. I'll walk around.
A pregame nap wasn't essential for you?
Nah, like if I was tired, I'd go to sleep.
Right.
If I wasn't, I just wouldn't.
Chill.
Sometimes I'd sleep like for 15 minutes on the training table before a game.
And that's all you need just to reload?
Yeah, because I'm already in shape. I don't need to sleep to be in shape and ready to go. Like I can run all day already. My stamina's already where it should be. So like whether or not I'm sleepy or not, like being sleepy and then being fatigued are two different things. I can play the game and be sleepy and not be fatigued. It's fine.
Interesting.
Lowest moment, like I know we had a couple low moments in our career where, it's either things we control or it was our fault. What was a low moment in your career? I don't really see you having that.
There was a couple of them. Well, losing to the Celtics in 08 was tough. But before that, like at the beginning of the journey, was not playing. So coming in as a rookie and saying, man, if I knew this shit was gonna be like this, I would have went to school.
Interesting.
Right? Because I felt like my coach, Dale Harris at the time, was trying to make sure he did not show favoritism to the young kid. And as a result, he swung completely the opposite direction and doing things that weren't really fair. And not playing. So like my first 2-3 years were
brutal.
Were a nightmare.
People don't know that. People don't know that. People don't know you went through that your first 3 years.
No, it was tough. I sit around, I watch all my peers going out there playing 35, 37 minutes. AI, Ray Allen, they're all doing their thing. Sharif Abdul-Rahim, everybody's doing their thing. And I'm sitting here glued to the bench, getting really, really pissed off and ticked off, thinking I should have just gone to college. That was the hardest part. Yeah.
What was that breakthrough when it was okay and that your number was called? Did someone get hurt? You finally just started trusting you? What was it?
During the lockout season, when the season started, Rick Fox had plantar fasciitis in both feet. But he wanted to play somebody else in front of me, and that person got hurt. And so then he had no choice but to start me at small forward. And so this was when small forwards was
big.
Small forwards.
Yeah,
This was KG, this is Sharif Abdul-Rahim, this is Pip, this is so I started the first 10 games at small forward. I think I started like 7 straight double-doubles or something like that. And then I've been in the starting lineup ever since.
No looking back.
But I might have. Who the hell knows how long when I came off the bench before Rick didn't get injured. So
it's crazy when you see that, man.
It was really, really rough. It was really, really
and especially too, like I said, I got a different side because I went to UCLA almost parallel when you came to LA. So I would see you on campus, I would see you working out in the gym, and I would know damn, this motherfucker's, why is he not playing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I looked at it from a point of view, I see this dude work out, people don't play, he looks like Michael Jordan out there. I would see he would come in after our UCLA practice. I remember one time you had broke your right hand and you came up to UCLA and did a whole workout left-handed like you were a left-handed player. Yeah. And I was just like, what? Oh, fuck. And then the next season he came back shooting left-handed shots. People were like, oh my God, he's this. I was like, no, he worked on that shit his whole time he had this hand in the cast.
Yeah. If you watch Kyrie get all that from you.
You were just mad?
I'm not playing.
Right.
It's like you sitting down, you're not playing, and you're watching everybody else kill the league when you know you should be doing that. It still pisses me off to this day because, ultimately, what numbers would you have put up?
All right.
Because everybody wants to go to that. Oh, let's go to career numbers. Go to career. Somebody would have told me that back then.
That's 3,500, 4,000 more points.
You know what I'm saying? So, those 3 years of not playing and sitting on the bench and just watching, it's frustrating.
Tough. What personal growth did you go through from 3-peat with Shaq, he's gone, until you won your next title with Powell and the new crew?
I understand how to connect the team more. I didn't have to with Shaq, because Shaq was the guy that connected everybody. Still drove a hard bargain, but he was the jovial one and connected everybody. So I figure out how to do that, but do that in my own way.
Right.
With my sarcasm and dry humor or whatever the case may be, and being authentic with guys, but still being able to build that relationship and understanding this is what it's about. And as a result, we wound up having the closest team. I mean, that was the closest team I've ever played on, man. It was, but that was the biggest change.
What was Matt like as a teammate? I played with him in Golden State. He's my brother. We've been through a lot of stuff on and off the court. Our moms were best friend. I was with him during a tough time when he lost his mom. So our relationship is deeper than basketball, but what was he like as a teammate?
Exactly what I thought he was going to be. Feisty, tough, competitive, and not afraid of big moments. And that's what I respected the most, guys that aren't afraid. You got to have some cojones. You playing with me, you ain't got no cojones, man. I ain't messing with you.
Well, that kind of leads me to the next thing, because I think people think there's such a disconnect between you all because of the shit in Orlando.
People really think that.
No, I wanted him because of what happened in Orlando.
That's what he told me. That's what he said.
He's like, I remember he says, like, anyone crazy enough to fuck with me is crazy enough to play with me. You know what I mean? So it was funny though, because that was just a back and forth game, and that kind of just spoke to both of our competitiveness. The year before, you guys had beat Orlando, so we come back the next year thinking, okay, we're going to play the Lakers again. We're getting towards the end of the season. It's a back and forth game, and I tell people when I played you, like, I just look forward to it, because I mean, everyone knows how fucking good you are, but you mentally attack people too. You do your little Kobe shit where you're elbowing and grabbing, knocking the wind, elbowing me right here,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Everything out of me.
Everything.
I caught a dunk tip, he elbowing me. I'm just like, what the fuck? And I'm the one getting fouls. I'm the one getting teased. So it just came to a head. We're like, man, fuck, I might have to fight this dude. You know what I mean? Like, fuck basketball, fuck everything. So the play was crazy because I literally just faked the ball, and it wasn't like thought of or anything, and I didn't realize how close it came to your face. Obviously you didn't move, but then when I saw after, like, that shit was, I mean, like, your eyelashes touched that shit, and this motherfucker might have been the only person on the planet. Like, you flinched just off some regular shit. Like, I put a whole basketball in his face after we had really been going through it, and he just.
I would tell this story about, we was in San Antonio, this is my second time. I turned around to shoot a jumper, and you hit my whole arm. The referee's right there, don't call nothing. You take the ball, haul up court right, so you know me, I'm always arguing with the refs. I'm in a full argument with the ref, but I'm guarding you at the same time. And so you start telling me, you better pay attention, motherfucker. You better pay attention. So I'm arguing with the ref, trying to listen to you. You shoot the motherfucker from the logo, net. You give me a look, then the referee give me the same little look. Like, I'm like, so look, this one made it worse. Then pop sub me right out.
Of course he
I was
did.
like, oh shit.
Of course
He go up
he
at
did.
60, now I can't get my get back.
Hey man, I just try to fuck with y'all as much as possible. 'Cause I knew if I, y'all coaches, Pops, Gundy, man, you fucking coaches crazy, man. They're awesome, but they're crazy.
Yeah.
In a little, they, like
Different way, yeah.
Yeah. So I just tried to do what I could to take you guys out of the game. Even if it meant like your replacement, the person that was coming in for you guys did a better job guarding me.
Yeah.
Then I'd be comfortable with that.
Just to
Let them come in and guard me. Yeah, they do a much better job than these two guys.
First it was Bruce Bowen, then me, then somebody else. He's just knocking us all off.
And then you wait, and then you roast them. And then you guys are over there like, what the fuck am I doing over here?
That's how it happens.
A lot of long night, but my whole thing with you was, to me, good defense is never going to stop great offense. I just wanted to make you work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, with me, there was going to be hard fouls. There was going to be no easy layups. If you shot fake me too many times, I'm just going to foul you. Fuck it. I'm just going to foul you hard. You know what I mean? And that's what I explain to people. Like, great offense is always going to be great defense. You just want to make them work for everything. So if you scored 30 points, I wanted you to take 30 shots.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. So that
We
was
went back and forth for threes when we was in Golden State,
that was fun.
in LA. I made the first, he looked at me like, are you serious? Can't get a shot all second half.
One of them nights. This motherfucker got hot.
Have you ever sat down and had like a real off the camera combo with MJ?
Oh yeah.
What is that like?
Looking in the mirror?
No, it's fun. I mean, it's fun. No, we're really different. It's crazy. Like he'll compete
to you
in anything.
To you, y'all different.
I mean, I guess. I mean, like he'll compete with any and everything. I won't. I only compete with things that I really am good at. Like I'm not just gonna
compete on something you don't know.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that.
He'll compete
regardless. He'll compete at everything. You know, he'll talk basketball all day long and nonstop. And compare, well, what would have happened if, you know, my 91 against your 03? And, you know, like, what's this, that?
What would have happened, in your opinion?
Come on, you can't ask him that, man.
I want to know, would it have been complete dominance? Would it have been a 7-game series? What would it have been?
What he started the conversation with was, well, I would have destroyed you. And, you know, listen, I just said, listen, just remember who you're talking to. Yeah. And he just started laughing. He was like, I'm just messing with you. I'm just messing with you. And then we just kind of moved on.
That's dope.
But it would have been fun.
That's dope. That's dope, man. Just to even know that y'all had that conversation is dope.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
How bad? I remember playing with you. Your whole thing is that you said, I want to sit at the table with MJ.
Yeah.
Meaning you wanted that 6th ring. What did it mean not to be able to get that?
Oh, it pissed me off. You know, but things are what they are. You know, you push for a goal, and my original goal was to try to win 8. And you push for it, and you push for it, and you push for it, and you do the best you can. But at the end of the day, you can be comfortable with the results and where they landed and where they ended up. And so, you know, that's the most important thing. That's why I can be really, really comfortable with the career that I've had, because, you know, you worked as hard as you possibly could. And that's it.
You and Shaq were able to win 3 together. Obviously, there's been back and forth of, you know, what he was like, what you were like, whatever. But if you guys were on the same page, connected mentally, how many do you realistically feel like you could have won?
They probably, I mean, San Antonio was tough. They were tough. And so, like, when the playoffs came around, it wasn't like Shaq and I weren't on the same page. When the playoffs came around, we always were on the same page. We just got beat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, we've you know, the bigger question should be, how many would we have won if the Spurs weren't the Spurs? You know, because you probably would have ran the table for a decade.
That year,
he was
killing. He was by himself that year.
You know, he was lights out. He was lights out, right? And so the talent, the coaching, everything in San Antonio was kind of a perfect storm. And so if they weren't in the picture, we probably would have run 10 in a row. And they'd probably say the same thing about us.
To get some momentum.
Well, in case anyone has forgotten, Steph Curry with a reminder of what ridiculous range he has. It's amazing how he's able to maintain technique even from that distance.
Takes the 3, and again it's Orlando with the 3.
Well, a tough first quarter for this guy. You like to see the shot go in. Nicely done.
And here's Kobe for 3. He can't hit that time. And Orlando the other way now. On its way from Curry for 2. And again, it's Orlando converting.
What an aggressive mindset in this period. He's starting to take over.
Pass to Granger. .106 left in the second quarter. Looking to end the run. Ayton a screen. And here's Bryant for 3. Outside Thomas. It gets stolen by McGrady. And here is Curry. Launches a 3. That shot missing.
The game has been very close in a lot of areas, but rebounding has been the one differentiator thus far.
And here's Kobe from the arc. And again, Toronto no up. And that one